Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited because today I'm going to be giving you spring book recommendations. Along with the recommendations, I'm also going to be telling you what I've been reading this spring and some books that I'm excited to continue to read throughout the season, and upcoming reads, anticipated releases, and just my overall spring TBR. The books that I'm going to recommend are all clean and no spice. So the first book that I have to recommend is actually one that I have read this year. So that is Evergreen Academy by Heather Schneider. This is a young adult college age book, and oh my gosh, it is so fun. There is so much like academic vibes and nature and florals. The whole setting is at a magical botanist academy. Basically, the premise, you have Briar Rose, and she is a student at her local community college in California, and she doesn't realize that she's actually a part of this magical botanist like people. And so she has to go to this academy and basically learn how to do stuff, and it has such a good like academic scholarly vibe. I love all the nature and fun little sciencey bits because they're, she's at a school, she's learning stuff, so it's fun to learn that with her. And there's also like a sliver of a slow burn romance that's blossoming very slow, but this is a trilogy, so I need to start book 2, which I will start it eventually. This was just such a fun time. It was very whimsical, and it's an urban fantasy, so it's not like your typical high fantasy. It takes place in modern day, and I have a review for it on Goodreads if you want to go and look, because I do list some of the content stuff. But overall, it was such a fun time. I give it 4 stars. This book does take place over the course, like from fall to spring, because it is college, so it's like, the start of the school semester. But it was fine because we were always outside. There's even like a little tea shop, so it just, gives very much spring vibes. And going to the library and studying and being in nature, and the stuff that's happening at the end of the book, crazy. There was some crazy things, and that's why I'm like, I need to get to book 2. I think it would be a great book to just like sit down, sip your tea, and enjoy reading on a cozy spring day. The next book I have to recommend is The Little White Horse. The author is Elizabeth Gooch, and this is the epitome of a classic whimsical fairy tale. This story follows Maria Merriweather, and she goes to her uncle's manor, Moonacre Manor, because she is an orphan, but she has her caretaker, which is Miss Heliotrope. There is so much charm in this book. The movie, The Secret of Moonacre, is based on this book, and that's how I first originally found out about this book. And that movie, so good. That movie's definitely a spring movie, in my opinion. There is a lot of things going on with the people, the Dunoirs of the land and the Merriweathers. They are kind of at odds against each other, so Maria Merriweather has to figure out why, and uncovering all that, there is some secrets that she discovers, and this book is just so fun. Like, I loved getting to follow her. It reminds me a lot of, the classic fairy tales, or also a little bit like Secret Garden and books like that, where it's just like cozy and classic. I think that if you want a enchanting middle grade fun whimsical story, then you should give this one a try. This was a 5-star when I read it in 2022, so it has been quite some time since I read this book, but I love it. And also, yes, there is a unicorn in it. Like I said, it's just very much fairy tale, and there's also kind of a curse going on in this, and Maria Merriweather might have to help and break that curse. There's also a little subplot of romance in here, but it's like very subtle because she's like 13, but it's so sweet. I literally love Robin. Yes. The next book I have to recommend is Heidi. So I read this in 2023, and this book is another enchanting little story about our girl Heidi in the Swiss Alps with her grandfather, and it's literally just her with the goats. And also there's Peter. He is one of the like goat herders, and her grandfather, and it's just such a wholesome, beautiful story. There's other things too in this, but she honestly goes into people's life and she brightens their day. It's kind of like Anne of Green Gables, but yes, I love this book. And we follow Heidi from like I think 6 or 7 years old until she's I think almost 10 or 12, I can't remember, but we follow her as she's growing up. And honestly, the scenery and where we're at in the Swiss Alps, and it's so beautiful because like it'll describe the snow or the summer days and just how luscious it is to be on those hilltops with the goats. Yeah, it was beautiful. It's such a good children's story. If you want a good, beautiful, whimsical spring story with really beautiful prose, you're gonna have to read a classic. And I think that this one encapsulates that. And I think it also shows how we come into people's lives and impact it, and that's exactly what Heidi does for many people. This is by Joanna Spyri or Spiri. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but it's so beautiful. And this edition, look at how cute. It has beautiful pictures. Get this edition because this is honestly spring. If you're wanting a book to just wind down and read after a long day, this would be such a good one to just cozy up and read. Okay, another book I'm going to recommend is An Awfully Big Adventure by Shauna Woodland, and I also am going to recommend the Duology, both of them as a whole, because I love this Duology. I feel like together it's a good like 4.75 as a Duology, because I give the first book 4.5 and then the second book 4.75. It was just such a good cozy time. So I love these books because this is a very historical 1900s, and the characters, the way they're written, the writing, the prose is gorgeous and so beautifully done. I love Shauna Woodland's writing. I need to read her other book because she has 3 books out. I need to read the other one. I knew I was gonna love these books when I first found out about these in 2022, but I haven't read them until now. So both of these are inspired by loosely Peter Pan, and so Molly's kind of like our Wendy character, but honestly this first book is just about her finding herself and who she is and learning to love who she is. I think she's 18 around there, and also there's like a little friends to lovers subplot and sort of a love triangle going on in this duology. I wasn't too aware of that, like I figured there would be, but it caught me by surprise. It was in a good way. I feel it was caught me by surprise in a good way. If any of that sounds good, you probably really love this duology. Yeah, but I love Molly. She was such a good heroine and finding herself, and she loves to read. And it's just so whimsical. She loves to like go frolicking in the forest. There's willow trees, even though it takes place in fall. I don't know why a lot of these books take place in fall, but it does. But it feels spring. It like, trust me, it feels spring. This second one, the way that Shauna Woodland made the love triangle and how everything went down, I was very surprised. I feel like if you just want a good coming of age, young adult, whimsical story with beautiful prose, finding yourself, potentially love triangle, question mark, then you will love this duology. For me, this felt like watching a historical period drama, and I wish it was a movie because it would be such a good movie. Like a series, it'd be so good. All right, next we have Mandy by Julie Andrews Edwards. Yes, the Julie Andrews wrote a book, and it is absolutely delightful, so charming. Yet again, I feel like all of these little middle grade books are like the epitome of spring. So basically, Mandy is an orphan and she just wants a place of her own. She wants a garden of her own, and that's literally what this book is about. She basically kind of sneaks and goes and finds this little hidden away cottage in the forest, and she starts to grow a garden and she starts to like build this little garden. It's just so sweet and charming, and nobody knows of the orphanage because she climbs over the wall. yeah, it's just wholesome, okay? And there's also some other things in this plot twist that happen for our girl Mandy, and it's so charming. Like the way it was written, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful story. Found family for sure. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I remember finishing it and just feeling so good, like warm fuzzies. It honestly just is such a wholesome story. Mandy is such a good book. I feel like this book would be great to read if you just have nothing to do and you just want to read, and this would be the book. The next book that I have to recommend is Guardian's Oath by Bridget Cromie. This was a 5-star, okay? This such a good book. This is like a princess and knight story. So if you're looking for recommendations like that, this is your book. And it's actually a novella. I have read not that many novellas in my life, but this one. So good. I loved it. I cried at the end. So we're following Taliana, Princess Taliana, and then Gavin, and he is like the knight or guardian in the world they live in, and over her. So he's like the one that protects her and all this stuff. But there's like this underlying threat that's going on in the kingdom, and so they have to like flee and leave unexpectedly because people are kind of after her. That's what kind of like the journey that we're following. But the way we got the build up and everything, even to the end, I was so entertained. I was on the edge of my seat towards the ending. And I love how even in this short little time span of 130-ish pages, like the romance and everything, it was so like well thought out. So like every little part in the story was meticulous, so good. Like everything was done so well. I don't know how Bridget did it, but she is a master. This novella just gave me like Disney princess movie, but with high stakes. And if you have been wanting to read something with the princess and knight type of aesthetic and vibe, then this is the book, okay? This is the novella. It was short, it was sweet, it was beautiful. And I recommend it to you because it's the perfect little spring book. It just feels like a fairy tale, but yet it's so good, and there's so much depth, and then there's it's chef's kiss, okay? All right, and the last book that I'm gonna recommend is The Letter Tree by Rachel Fordham. So this book is another great, beautiful story. 5 stars. This is like a Romeo and Juliet, loosely inspired, and You've Got Mail put together. So that just makes for such a good book, and it's set in the 1920s. So it's historical. It takes place in the spring, actually. Like this one actually takes place in the spring. So we're following our girl Laura, and she is the daughter of a shoe factory owner. And then we're also following our guy Isaac, and main male character Isaac, and he is the son of another shoe factory owner. But these two shoe factories are at odds with each other, Romeo and Juliet, and these two used to be friends. Like Laura and Isaac were friends at one point, but then the companies kind of like split, and they said, forget it, we don't want to be friends anymore. And these two kids, they don't know why. So years have gone by, but Laura has been sending letters to somebody in the tree, in the zoo, in their local zoo. Oh, it takes place in New York as well. So in the local zoo, and they exchange letters, and she doesn't know who it is, but it's Isaac, of course. Yeah, so that's the You've Got Mail element. They don't know that they're writing each other letters. They've been doing this for years. It's so good. So there's forbidden love in this. There's friends to lovers in this. There's just a lot of things, and the secrets and mystery. There's a mystery, and it was so good. To the end, I was on the edge of my seat yet again. But oh, the love story is so good. The forbidden love, the yearning, the tension, everything was just so well done. And I love this author's writing, her writing style. The prose are beautiful. This story just overall is like, if you want a lovely, beautiful love story, speak no more, say less. this is the book for you. Now I'm going to talk about the books that I'm currently reading right now. So I'm reading 3 books. One of those is The Wind and the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. This one, I'm kind of like listening to it on audiobook, and this is a very cool edition. There's like deckled edges and everything. Okay, that's so fancy. Now this book, I'm not really caring about it, to be honest, but I love the writing, which is a really weird thing. I like how some of the prose are, so it's just a nice little thing to just listen to. But I'm sad because I thought I would have at least enjoyed it a little bit more. We'll see, we'll see. All right, the next book that I'm reading right now is actually an ARC that I received. This is The Heart of War by Olivia Snow. I'm currently 50% into it, like 51%, somewhere around there. It's so good. I love it. I'm not sure if it's giving 5-star feelings at the moment, but it's definitely going to be 4 and above. So like when it comes out, y'all better be reading it because this is a spring book. It's taking place during, you know, the London season and Regency era. The main girl, her name is Helena Weston, and she is trying to secure a match. I feel like that's in every Regency book, you know, they got to find their match. But she actually does, because or else her father, and they're gonna lose their estate and all their money and everything if she does not secure a wealthy husband. So everything's kind of like falling on her. And there's also this other character, Edmund Hawke, Mr. Hawke as she calls him. And you know, they kind of like start off, it's very like enemies to lovers vibe. She just thinks he's antagonizing her at every single turn, but I really think that he's kind of falling for her. I don't think she sees that though. And so she's like, you know what? I'm gonna make him fall in love with me and he's gonna pay. I'm really liking being inside our main girl's perspective because it's first person. So her perspective is really, she's such a witty girl, but there's also like some things that I'm like, ugh, like not plot twists, but there's things that like characters that are making me so mad. I'm like, like drama, there's drama. I feel very bad for our girl. The romance that's happening, that's kind of happening, it's a slow burn, and I'm excited to see where it's gonna go because there's some intrigue with our guy, Mr. Hawke, because nobody really knows who he really is. I don't think he is who he is either. I think he's hiding something. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think he's hiding something that we're gonna figure it out. But the little moments between them so far have been really good. I am loving this book. Okay, and the last book that I'm reading right now is Darkwind by Renee Dugan, or Dugan. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but this is a fun fantasy book. Okay, so I'm around 11% into it. I started this in February. I know, I'm such a slow reader, guys, but honestly, I want to read this. Like, I want to read it when I actually have the time to commit to it. Like, I really do, because I can see where it's going to go. So I feel like this one is going to be the one that's more on the back burner. I hope to continue it throughout the month, but I don't really know if I'm going to prioritize it. I have a lot of other books that I need to prioritize and I'd rather read, and it's not like it's not holding my attention. It's just more of a, do I want to commit to 7 books right now, or do I want to like finish the series that I'm reading, finish the arcs, and you know, that type of thing. So maybe it's just not the right time. So I don't know if I'm gonna softy enough it or what. I'd like to read it sometime this year, who knows, but I will definitely be reading this book because it's so cool. It's about a princess and there's something going on in the kingdom and there might be potential war. So I definitely want to get back into the story at some point, if not this month, then in the next few months. Okay, very quickly, I'm gonna rapid fire the books that I'm excited to read, the physical ones that I have, and then I'll put the other ones on the screen. The first book is The Two Princesses of Bamarre. This is by Gail Carson Levine, the same author who wrote Ella Enchanted. It's about 2 sisters, and I think one of the sisters has to go and fight or help save the younger sister, and she has to go on this little quest or something. One sister is really brave and knows how to use a sword. One sister does not, and I think that's the sister. So I think I'm gonna definitely love to read this spring, because I've been seeing this book recommended so much. Like, so many of my favorite fantasy authors love this book, so I'm like, I need to know, I need to read it. Another book that I recently just got is Sorrow's Blade by Hannah A. Finch, and this is kind of like an ARC early release because I have a copy before it's even out, so that is so exciting. And I'm gonna start it on release day, which for me is tomorrow, but for Hannah, because she's in Australia, it's already out. So I'm so excited for her to have released her book. So that is why I'm gonna be reading this, and I'm excited to read this. This is like a fantasy kind of like pirate vibe. That's what I'm getting from it. I'm pretty sure there's like found family stuff, and our main girl Aja is, I think she's an assassin or something. There's something going on, and yeah, but I'm so excited to just get into this and see what Hannah has created, and I just love it because she has her YouTube channel, so go subscribe. But I'm so excited. All right, the next book is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I was very inspired to read this because one of my favorite book series, the Chronicles, the characters, they quoted some things from this series. So I'm like, obviously I need to read. I need to know. The Lord of the Rings was very prominent in that story, and their love for it. The Odyssey was as well. That kind of provoked me. I'm like, okay, I need to know. I want to read it. So I have the whole box set of all of the books. So the first one though is The Hobbit. So I need to read the prequel. I just know that this is going to be such a cozy little book, and it might be a little slow, but I don't care. I need to know the hype around the Lord of the Rings, and maybe I'll watch the movies too after I'm finished the books. Another one is The Jinni Key by Bethany Altazada. This is the second book in the Stolen Kingdom series. I read the first book in February, and I need to know what's gonna happen next, okay? We're following another character in the story. These are all fairy tale retellings, and the first book was kind of like an Aladdin inspired retelling. So this next book is gonna be Little Mermaid inspired, and I'm excited to jump back into the world and to know how things are going. And because where it left off, I'm like, no, give me the next book right now. Another book that I need to get to this spring is Evergreen Conservatory by Heather Schneider, the second book in the Evergreen Academy series. Like I said earlier, I'm definitely gonna start this one really soon, probably this month, because I need to know how things went after book one. And there's things that we're probably going to find out, and I'm excited to find those things out because there's a little bit of mystery and a little bit of intrigue that I'm like, I need to know. So I definitely can't wait to start that one and to kind of complete the whole trilogy, because maybe the next month I will read the third book in that, and I would have completed another series. The next one wouldn't probably be a surprise, but it's Lily of the Tower by Marie Salil, and I am excited because I have read the whole series, the novella, both of the books. I loved Isabel and the Beast last year, so I am excited to get to this book. This is an interconnected like fairy tale retelling standalone series. You can tell I just love fairy tales, right? Can't you? But this is like Rapunzel inspired. The cover, hello, it's giving Rapunzel. We're following the sister of all the brothers in the previous books. And yeah, I'm excited to see her story and it play out. She's a pianist, and I can't wait. Another one is No Stone Unturned by Janelle Hovde, and this is a Regency book. I saw it in Barnes & Noble and I opened it up and I was like, wait a minute, this actually looks so intriguing, and I was like, I think I need to read it. So another Regency book that's going on my TBR because it's just intriguing, and it's a Christian fiction book too. So I feel like that would just be so fun, and I need more Regency books. There's also, I think the guy is an archaeologist, the main girl, I don't really know, but I think she's also very into that too, or something. But the way it opened up, it was so interesting. Like the first chapter, I was hooked. So I'm excited to potentially read this one. Okay, and another book that is on my TBR is Back to the Pier by Hannah Rose Marie. And this one I'm excited because I have an arc for this one as well. Well, not yet, but in April, I'm gonna get the arc and I'm gonna be reading it. So this is like a beach rom-com. There's second chance. It's like new adult, young adult, and I'm excited to read it. And then some more honorable mentions. I have so many that I want to get to. I want to get to Flameheart. This is like a mix between Narnia, Inkheart, and a bunch of fantasy books. And the main girl has anxiety attack, and then that's how I think she writes, and she's writing a fictional character, and the fictional character comes to life because her anxiety attack or something like that. And that just sounds so interesting. And she's a writer and she's writing a fantasy story and it comes to life, or she goes into the world or something, which sounds so cool. So Flameheart's definitely, I'm gonna be reading that probably in May. And then one of the books that I just decided to add today is Tempests of Tea Leaves. And this one looks so cool. It's like Pride and Prejudice, and it has the fantasy vibes, and there's tea. So I mean, the cover is giving spring. I think I need to read it. Hello, the cover sells it. Okay, the cover sells it for me. I will have some more books on the screen that are on my TBR because I have so many I cannot even talk about them all. But will I read them all is the question, because I have to finish series, I have to finish arcs. I'm also writing my own book. If you have any book recommendations for this spring season, leave them below because I would love to know what books that you have read and that you think are perfect for this season. And if you want to go follow me on my social medias, I will have my Fable, Goodreads, Instagram, everything linked in the description for you so we can become besties over there. If you want to see me recommending more clean romance books, then I'm going to recommend that you go watch my clean romance book recommendation video because that's my most popular video on this channel. Go watch that next.